Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to work on our Adex ARC inside pendulum. Normally we work on this exercise with heavy clubs. There are both a single hand and a two hand variation of this exercise. The single hand variation would push to the inside, point your chest the way you want to go, sit in your rear leg, point your foot straight ahead, creating a spiral through this leg. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Push, swing, pull, and catch. The single arm exercise is a little bit easier for a lot of people in the beginning if they're using a lightweight, because they don't have to have perfect rotation. The problem with not having perfect rotation when you go up to heavyweight is, of course, you will eventually rip your spine out. So we start with lightweights and we progress to heavyweights as our movement improves. The two-hand version of that exercise is the same. The only difference is we put the bottom hand on and it forces us into good position. If our bottom elbow is bent, then we are not all the way rotated the way we want to go yet. So rotate rear leg, push, tip, swing, pull, and catch. Push, tip, swing, pull, and catch. Now the arc grip, as I am now calling it. One hand at the bottom of the arc. That is our primary hand when we're in balanced position. Instead of it being in front of our body, we're gonna fold it to the inside our body. Our top hand elbow out. When we start this movement, our top hand is going to push straight across. The goal is to push to that straight arm and then swing down. Let's start with our feet in our normal stance. One shoulder width apart, 2 feet pointed straight ahead. Arc grip, elbow high, rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Push, swing, pull, and catch. I love the arc because we can marshal specific these movements a little bit more with the arc. You can do it with the club, you can do it with the mace, but I think it's the most fun with the arc. We're gonna take our stance from shoulder width apart to 1.5 shoulder widths apart. Get into our position. This is what's known as a high horse stance. We are going to rotate in that rear leg. Notice the movement of the hips and the knees. The feet do not move, the ankles, knees, and hips do. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Push, swing, pull, and catch. And we're going to take it out now to our full width, 2 shoulder widths apart, point our feet straight ahead. Drive your knees out as far as you can to sit yourself down. Rotate, shift into the back leg. As we swing across, move that knee out of the way. When we start, that knee is forward. As we swing across, it's going to rotate out of the way so you don't clock yourself in the knee. Consider clocking yourself in the knee to be generally bad. I highly recommend you don't do it. Start with your elbow up. The higher your elbow is, the cooler it's gonna look. Rotate, push, swing, pull, straight leg, and catch. Push, swing, pull, straight leg, and catch. Push, swing, pull, and catch. You will notice this movement is different for the ankles, hips, and the knee than the standard move, which has feet only shoulder width apart. Shoulder width apart, your hip is going to end up outside the line of your foot, and you are going to rotate your hip bowl to look with your chest. As your feet get wider, that becomes a taller and taller order. Your hip is not going to get this far out. Your knee is going to end up over your toe, and you're going to rotate as far as you can, about as far as this leg becomes straight. That's about as far as it's going to go. Push, swing, pull, load, and catch. Push, swing, pull, load, and catch. We always want to absorb as much as we can with the legs. Think of this as standing position, just getting bigger. We want to get really good at standing. It's the foundation of all athletics, and it's the foundation of all martial arts. Lowering your center of gravity has a bunch of advantages for balance, for lower back, articulation, for all types of things. This pattern has been used throughout history as a base athletic movement. You can just do horse stance by itself, hold it for 10 minutes a day, and have excellent leg strength. This was what people used to do before they had squat racks. They would get down into their position and they would hold for an extended period of time. The classic one was light a piece of incense and stay on it till it goes all the way down. Old school time tracking before they had digital clocks in order to track time, but generally terrible no matter what. We are just taking that idea of the classic low horse stance or a low static martial squat and introducing it into weight movement. Same thing is true. If you set yourself up in this movement pattern and you pick 5 exercises and you do it for a minute on each side, that would be 10 minutes total. That would be a large amount of leg work. The side effect is your hips, your knees, and your spine are going to become much healthier over time. Very simple. As the feet get wider, the way that you're going to rotate is going to change. Arc demands more rotation. The arc adjusts in weight, so you can start with just the handle and you can build up to 50 pounds. Building that up to 50 pounds and doing 10 minutes is going to be a beast monster workout for everybody on the planet. You don't have to have an arc to do this. We can do this with a standard mace. It doesn't have to be a sexy mace like this. It can be a $30 mace from Amazon. Hold in the arc grip, the middle of the middle and the bottom. 2 palms face each other. Get into our position. Rotate, push, tip, load, and catch. Push, tip, load, and catch. Push, tip, load, and catch. Use the equipment you have, but focus on good training ideas. You don't need super expensive equipment to get strong, athletic, and pain-free. Being pain-free is the most important part of that equation.